The year is 1815, and a treacherous Mediterranean storm sets the stage for an extraordinary tale of fate. Captain Danglars' ship encounters chaos on the turbulent waters, with a dramatic shipwreck unfolding before the crew's eyes. In a moment of heroic impulse, Dante, the captain's assistant, spots a woman clinging desperately to floating debris and makes a split-second decision to dive into the raging sea. Against all odds, Dante successfully rescues the mysterious woman, but his heroism comes at a price. An enraged Danglars punishes the young sailor for disobeying orders, locking him in the ship's hold. In a twist of intrigue, Danglars confiscates a secret letter from the rescued woman, a missive apparently linked to the exiled Napoleon. The woman finds herself confined to the captain's cabin, her hopes of retrieving the letter crushed when Danglars demands an exorbitant sum of money. Upon arriving in Marseille, the rescued woman, now identified as Angèle, seeks out Dante at the port, expressing her heartfelt gratitude for his life-saving rescue. The drama continues when shipowner Morel enters the scene. Despite Danglars' complaint about Dante's insubordination, Morel takes a stand for humanity, arguing that abandoning someone in distress at sea would be dishonorable. In a shocking turn of events, Morel fires Danglars and promotes Dante to captain. Bursting with excitement, Dante races to his fiancée Mercedes de Morcerf to share the incredible news. Their impending marriage now seems more promising than ever. The joy spreads to Dante's father, who is overcome with emotion upon hearing about his son's unexpected promotion. The de Morcerf family hosts a celebratory dinner, with Fernand, Mercedes' cousin, toasting to the youngest captain in France. However, a cloud of tension lurks beneath the surface. Fernand, harboring secret feelings for Mercedes, is devastated by the couple's plans to marry. Despite his doubts about the family's approval, Mercedes remains confident in their love. The wedding day arrives, a moment of anticipated happiness. As Dante awaits his bride in the church, the atmosphere is charged with anticipation, but fate has other plans. Suddenly, gendarmes burst in, dramatically arresting Dante and dragging him away, shattering the celebration and leaving everyone in shock, including Fernand's futile attempts to intervene. Dante finds himself facing Gérard de Villefort, the deputy public prosecutor of Marseille, who launches a calculated accusation of Napoleon sympathizing. A hidden letter in Dante's Bible becomes the centerpiece of this dramatic interrogation. When Dante mentions the name Angèle during his questioning, a subtle yet profound shift occurs in Villefort's demeanor, a hint of deeper, more complex connections. Behind the scenes, a conspiracy takes shape. Fernand de Morcerf, torn between loyalty and self-preservation, becomes an unwilling pawn in Villefort's scheme. The prosecutor skillfully manipulates Fernand, presenting Napoleon's letter and subtly threatening the de Morcerf family's reputation. Reluctantly, Fernand agrees to provide damning testimony, with Danglars and Caderousse silently complying out of fear. Meanwhile, Dante suffers a brutal imprisonment. His world shrinks to a cold, dark stone cell in the Château d'If, where hope seems as distant as freedom. Time becomes a blur, with only memories of Mercedes and the sunny Marseille seashore keeping him tethered to sanity. A glimmer of hope emerges when Dante hears mysterious knocking from the adjacent cell wall. His persistence leads him to Abbé Faria, a fellow prisoner who becomes far more than just a companion. Faria reveals that 4 years have passed, transforming Dante's imprisonment into a potential opportunity for transformation. The Abbé becomes Dante's mentor, recognizing an extraordinary potential beneath the broken spirit. He begins teaching Dante languages, logic, and sciences, instilling a profound belief that knowledge will be the ultimate weapon for survival and eventual revenge. For the first time in years, Dante finds purpose not just in plotting escape, but in preparing himself for whatever challenges lie ahead. A profound bond develops between Edmond and Abbé Faria, transcending the cold prison walls. Faria becomes more than a mentor. He becomes Edmond's gateway to understanding the intricate web of events that led to his unjust imprisonment. Through captivating storytelling, Faria unveils the legendary tale of the Knights Templar, a narrative of immense wealth, royal betrayal, and hidden treasures. The Abbé shares the remarkable story of Cardinal Spada, the last surviving Templar who escaped to Monte Cristo Island, preserving the Knights' extraordinary legacy. As their connection deepens, Faria makes an extraordinary proposition. He offers Edmond half of the legendary treasure, with one condition: that it be used wisely. Their decade-long escape attempt culminates in a tragic yet transformative moment. After a tunnel collapse, Faria is mortally wounded, but not before revealing the crucial details of the Monte Cristo treasure. In a remarkable act of cunning, Edmond orchestrates a daring escape by switching places with Faria's corpse, allowing himself to be thrown into the sea and ultimately swimming to freedom. Returning to Marseille, Edmond faces devastating revelations. His beloved father has died of grief, and Mercedes has married Fernand, bearing a son named Albert. These discoveries fuel a profound transformation within him. Guided by Faria's instructions, Edmond discovers the Templars' hidden treasure and immense wealth that instantly establishes him as one of the world's richest men. 1 year later, he returns to Marseille disguised as the Count of Monte Cristo, setting in motion a complex plan of revenge. His first move involves meeting Caderousse, presenting himself as a messenger, carrying a final request from the supposedly deceased Edmond Dantès. By strategically distributing a valuable gem, he begins weaving an intricate web that will ultimately unravel the lives of those who betrayed him. A shocking revelation emerges as Caderousse exposes the full extent of Edmond's betrayal. Fernand and Danglars conspired out of jealousy and personal motives, Fernand driven by unrequited love for Mercedes, Danglars seeking revenge for losing his captaincy. Caderousse's own complicity haunts him, admitting he merely confirmed their lies. The tragedy extends to Morel, the only truly loyal friend. Forced to rehire Danglars, Morel subsequently lost half his ships to a suspicious pirate attack, compelling him to sell his company to Danglars for a pittance. Villefort's deliberate inaction sealed Morel's fate, who died in abject poverty. On her deathbed, Angèle reveals a heart-wrenching story of her own resistance. She had once escaped, intending to confront Villefort, only to discover his illegitimate child. In an act of compassion, she rescued the infant, naming him Andrea and placing him in an orphanage. The Count of Monte Cristo methodically tracks Andrea, promising to prepare him for eventual revenge. 5 years pass, and Paris becomes the stage for the next act of Edmond's intricate plan. General Fernand de Morcerf, now celebrated as a distinguished soldier, retires from the army to join the Chamber of Peers. During a carriage ride, a dramatic encounter unfolds when a thief attempts to steal Fernand's Legion of Honor. Albert pursues but is ambushed, only to be dramatically rescued by the mysterious Count of Monte Cristo, who demonstrates extraordinary combat skills before vanishing. The Count of Monte Cristo's intricate plan begins to unfold during a hunting expedition hosted by Baron Danglars. Albert and Fernand are drawn into his carefully orchestrated world, with the Count demonstrating his impressive weapon collection and shooting skills. A mysterious young woman named Haydée is introduced, her background hinting at a tragic past of being sold to pirates. The Count meticulously stages an encounter between Haydée and Albert, simultaneously introducing Prince Cavalcanti, who begins courting Eugénie Danglars. During the hunt, Cavalcanti dramatically finishes off a wounded deer, casting a pointed look at Villefort, a subtle hint of underlying tensions. A pivotal moment occurs when Mercedes meets the Count, her anxiety revealing a deeper recognition. Though she attributes her unease to meeting her son's savior, the Count's controlled demeanor masks a storm of suppressed emotions. At a dinner party, the Count strategically plants seeds of doubt about Cavalcanti's background, subtly manipulating the social dynamics. The conversation touches on Lord Halifax's newspaper, with the Count warning about media manipulation, a message that goes unheeded by his companions. Haydée becomes an integral part of the Count's revenge plan, supporting his quest while Albert becomes increasingly intrigued by her mysterious presence. A note from Albert requesting a meeting with Haydée suggests the next phase of the Count's intricate scheme is about to unfold. Albert and Haydée's relationship deepens during a garden stroll, with Albert revealing his family's absence from Monte Cristo's upcoming dinner. The Count observes Haydée's growing feelings for Albert, complicated by her memories of his father's betrayal. At the grand dinner, a palpable tension emerges as Monte Cristo shares a chilling tale of an infant buried alive in the garden. Victoria and Villefort's barely concealed terror reaches its peak when the Count dramatically reveals an empty chest, a psychological manipulation designed to unsettle his targets. The Count's intricate plan continues to unfold. Disguised as Lord Halifax, he meets Villefort, carefully deflecting suspicion while simultaneously instructing his allies to deepen connections between Haydée, Albert, Eugénie, and Andrea. A pivotal moment occurs when Mercedes seeks the Count's forgiveness, invoking an Arabic custom of eternal friendship. His cryptic response reveals deep emotional wounds, hinting at his profound personal transformation. The narrative takes a dramatic turn when Halifax's newspaper reports the theft of Danglars' entire fleet, causing a catastrophic stock market crash, another calculated move in the Count's revenge scheme. A complex web of deception unfolds as Fernand discovers the false fleet theft report. Danglars, sensing an opportunity, borrows money from the Count, using all his assets as collateral. With Villefort's assistance, he files a defamation lawsuit against Lord Halifax. During the trial, Andrea Cavalcanti delivers a shocking revelation. He exposes his true identity as Villefort's illegitimate son, leaving the prosecutor stunned and silent. In a moment of brutal honesty, Andrea confesses to manipulating Eugénie's emotions, revealing they share the same mother. The Count's vengeful plan reaches a catastrophic climax when Danglars is informed that his entire wealth now belongs to Monte Cristo. In an unexpected turn, Andrea murders his father before being immediately killed by a soldier. Haydée, devastated by the tragedy, turns against the Count. Her relationship with Albert becomes the final battleground of revenge and love. Despite initial resistance, she ultimately agrees to flee with Albert, choosing love over vengeance. A devastating revelation emerges when the Count exposes Fernand's betrayal of Haydée's family, leading to a dramatic confrontation. Albert challenges the Count to a duel, feeling manipulated and dishonored. Mercedes, recognizing Edmond after years of separation, pleads for her son's life. The Count reveals Fernand's schemes, presenting her with a confession letter. Despite her request for limited vengeance, the Count prepares for the duel. The duel unfolds with Edmond deliberately missing Albert, ultimately sparing his life. Haydée, initially consumed by hatred, transforms her emotions upon seeing Albert alive, embracing him with the Count's blessing. A final confrontation between Fernand and the Count erupts in an intense saber duel. Gravely wounded, the Count ultimately leaves Fernand burdened with eternal guilt and shame. In a poignant conclusion, Mercedes discovers Edmond's letter hidden in the church's Bible, revealing his hope that their children will find happiness where they could not.